We've all heard the saying, nobody's perfect, but some mistakes are just plain ridiculous, especially when they're made by the people who are supposed to enforce the law. This first, however, doesn't look like a mistake, but more like a show of force by the cops.
I'm not out to try to start trouble or make scenes. I'm just trying to make it back home.
You about to be... You're in a... You're resisting arrest.
Put your hand behind your back.
You're under arrest for interfering. You're interfering arrest.
Put your hand behind your back.
You're in. Quit.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
Here, I'll get you another one.
That's arrest.
Why you gotta fight like that, man?
What is wrong?
Shut the fuck up.
We might have to do 3, man.
3?
Yeah.
Absolutely unbelievable that these animals would do something to a mentally disabled man. According to the lawsuit that Kenneth filed, one deputy delivered at least 2 knee strikes to the plaintiff's left upper shoulder, while another deputy said, "With a closed fist, I delivered 1 strike to the subject's meaty portion of the left thigh."
We need your help, buddy.
How'd you do that?
Pissed himself.
No, all right.
Sit up.
And when we tried to guide you back here, you 10-step on us, okay? That's what people do when they either want to fight or run.
I am not
They're
going
hiding
to fight or run.
Making someone go through such pain and misery simply because they tensed up, that's the epitome of corruption. These officers belong in cages, not on the streets. Just take a look at how they laughed at the poor guy after the incident was over.
He was like in special ed classes growing up and with me.
Oh, did you get hit?
All I see is they're like, come up here. It's like, well, get out of the goddamn way.
You pulled a Mason.
See, you guys got to learn, like I did on that traffic stop with Pierre, when we were trying to get the guy out of the car and I knew Pierre was there, I just took 1 step to the side.
The suit states the plaintiff spent 16 days in the hospital, including 4 days in the ICU. Additionally, the suit alleges negligence and gross negligence, common law liability for false imprisonment, malicious prosecution, defamation, abuse of process, and intentional and reckless infliction of emotional distress. The Greenville County Sheriff's Office declined to comment on the lawsuit. It's wild to see deputies harass a mentally unstable individual like that. What's even crazier is when the officers blatantly try to get bribes out of suspects, as they did in this next case.
This, okay?
This event took place in Mexico when the local police stopped an American man for having an expired registration, but the reality was a lot different because the man's registration was actually good for another 8 months.
Hola, señor.
Porque no trae su verificación y trae doble registro vehicular. Lo molesta con su tarjeta de circulación.
Habla inglés? No, I have insurance. Insurance, this registration?
Tarjeta de circulación, no trae su verificación,
Sí, mine.
no circula, es motivo de infracción. ¿Está a nombre de usted? ¿Es de empresa? ¿Traslux? A ver, le explico. No trae verificación su vehículo.
No
Te
habla.
lo estoy parando. Tomado rojo, marzo, abril, las verificaciones.
Calendar verification.
No trae verificación, es motivo de infracción.
No infraction.
De infracción. Por no verificar en su periodo de verificación correspondiente al calendario de estado o lugar de circulación, estados contemplados en el acuerdo de la verificación obligatoria, Aguascalientes, 6,200 pesos.
6'2".
6,200 pesos.
6'2". 620.
Sí,
$62 infraction.
sí, 6,200 de infracción. No trae la verificación.
For this? For
Sí.
this?
6,200.
No habla.
6,200 de multa. Dinero en cash, dinero, 6,200.
Yeah, dinero.
Ajá, 6,200.
Pesos, 620 pesos to
exactamente.
continue.
Ajá.
Infraction?
La infracción es de 6,200. Esta es la infracción por no verificar.
And what is the matter with this problema?
Sí, tiene problema por no verificar. Es una multa de 6,200. Entonces necesito su licencia.
I don't know if I have $62. Do you have a receipt?
¿Puede pagar? 6,200 ahorita.
At this point, the man thinks he has to pay $62 for an infraction and asks for a receipt as well. But what he fails to realize is that the officer is asking for a bribe, and in exchange, he will let him go.
Man, you're killing me, man. You have a receipt?
No, son 6,200.
640. I feel like I'm getting shook down. No, you get a receipt? A receipt?
6,200 de multa.
600.
No, 6,200. No. 6,200 de multa.
What?
O sea, es una infracción de 6,200. Chécale a ver si.
What, right?
6,000. Son 6,000. Aquí son 600. Son 6,200.
Times 100. 6,000.
Sí, 6,200 pesos.
No, I don't have that. This is it.
¿Cuánto traes?
What?
¿Traes los 6,200?
I don't have. You say. Okay. Un momento, please. So you say 6,000.
6,200.
400. That'd be $640. 6,000 on. See, budget rental.
The man soon realizes that if he doesn't pay the cop, he will have to pay 6,400 pesos, which is equivalent to about $500 US.
Sí, a ver,
Is the budget?
del dinero, cash. ¿Traes los 6,200?
And what, this? This? Okay.
Ah, sin mente. A ver,
What?
así nada más los 600. Ya vete. Código 8. Código 8. Ticket. Código 8.
Un momento?
Código 8. Código 8.
Go.
Sí.
Dude, I just got totally raped by the police, dude. Hola, Mexico! Viva la Mexico!
It's wild to think that officers like these are out in the open doing this to hundreds, if not thousands of people daily. And this cop was unfortunate enough to get caught red-handed, but there are thousands of others whom we will never see or hear about. It is unbelievable that an officer would do such a thing. But in this next case, the officer does something even more strange when he pulls over a guy for having a loud exhaust.
If I see you in the city again, I'm going to arrest you, and I'm going to tow your car. Do you understand?
On September 21st, 2021, a YouTuber named Lil David Garcia posted a video on his YouTube channel showing an incident that happened to him while he was visiting California. The officer made a huge mistake, but was too arrogant to admit it.
Oh, license, registration, insurance, please. Yeah. Hey, David, the reason why I pulled you over is for your loud exhaust.
Okay.
Any reason why it's so loud?
Yeah.
I'm sorry?
Yes.
Why is that?
Because it's modified.
It's modified?
Yeah.
What'd you do to modify it?
Just an exhaust.
Just the exhaust?
Just a catback exhaust.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do me a favor, turn your vehicle off.
Oh my god. Here we go again.
Noises, but it sounds like SpongeBob.
The SpongeBob boots.
Is it him? It's the same.
Yeah, it's the same one. He's gonna take out his little sound meter. He's gonna do a little sound test.
I mean, why is he even doing it? You have to.
It wasn't the officer's first time pulling over this guy. He had already done it before, but the difference this time was that he was no longer a resident of California. He had actually moved to Arizona. This meant the officer couldn't say anything about the loud exhaust, as Arizona allows its residents to have these kinds of exhaust systems.
Okay. Emergency brake on. Go ahead and start it. I'm going to have you bring it up to 3,500 RPMs. I'm going to have you hold it, and then I'm going to have you let off of it, okay?
Okay.
Go ahead and bring it up to 3,500. Go ahead and shut it off. So you're at 106.2 decibels.
Okay.
Okay, legal limit is 95.
95?
Yeah. So your catback mod
Yeah.
has boosted that up, okay?
After this incident, the YouTuber moved out of California, so he didn't have to face this again. But, as luck would have it, he was in the same situation with the exact same cop.
Oh, he's taking pictures. Taking pictures of my tires, because I'm gonna remember this car.
Good, how are you?
Oh, he's getting the angles. He got them angles. He's like, what else do I see? He's like, yep, that's the one. Wait, I need a little closer up.
Hi, David. You're being cited for loud exhaust and modification of the emissions, which are in violation of California emission standards. You're being state refereed. You got two options. Okay, you can either drive the vehicle straight home where you live or to a repair shop. If you are found driving the vehicle again, you will be arrested and the vehicle will be towed.
Well, I'm from Arizona. My friend's an officer. He told me that you're allowed to be in California for 10 days.
That's untrue.
Yes.
Anyhow, you're being cited. Not admission to guilt, just promised to appear in court. Just need a signature here. Where do you live in California?
California or Arizona?
California.
I don't live in California. I live in Arizona.
Oh, you live in California?
No, I don't.
Yeah.
I moved.
This is the second time I pulled you over.
Yeah, I know. I moved after that because of you.
Okay.
Because I didn't want to deal with this.
You can't continue to drive the same vehicle in the same city after you've been refereed once. Okay, so I'm not towing your vehicle today. I'm cutting you a break. But if I see you in the city again, I'm going to arrest you and I'm going to tow your car. Do you understand?
I'm allowed to
You're not
visit.
allowed.
I'm allowed to visit California.
No, you're not.
Okay.
Anyhow, if you're gonna drive this vehicle, it's a violation of emissions. You need to tow the vehicle. It cannot be on the roadway. Do you understand? Okay. Hang tight. All right, you've done this before, so make sure you go to the state referee, get the vehicle back into compliance before you go to court. Court date's at the bottom.
I'm from Arizona, so.
Do you have any questions?
No.
Okay.
No questions.
The worst part about these officers is their arrogance. They make mistakes, but then double down on them even after realizing they might be wrong. This is what corruption does. It makes you blind to your own toxic behavior.
Got something on this ticket that I just saw right now. Look at this. Alright, so muffler required to be properly maintained, air pollution control device, state referee sign off only. And then look at this one at the bottom. Fenders and mudguards required. I am lost right now. I got my fenders. I don't have a hood, but I have fenders. And mudguards, these don't even come with mudguards to begin with. It's not a rally car, it's not a truck, it's not a semi. The only type of mudguards they make for these cars is like one little plastic piece that just goes right here, and then another one that goes right here, but like write anything down to just make me pay more fines or something. It's pretty messed up, but yeah, I thought that was pretty funny. The courtroom is gonna think this is pretty dumb. They're probably still gonna give me like a correction fee for it, which is gonna be $25. They're gonna be like, all right, did you get it corrected? And I'll be like, what do you mean corrected? Like, I've always had fenders and mudguards. So they're gonna be like, okay, just pay $25. Just so they can make me pay $25 still. Watch, I know it. The dealership gets some fluids and stuff, so that was like a 2-hour drive on the way there. Probably about like 4 motorcycle cops behind me. And they just drove by me, they didn't care. I'm like Gilly over here, so Gilberto, they didn't want to let me go. Just doesn't want to feel like he lost. If he doesn't give me some sort of citation, you know, because he gave me one in the past, and he just wants to prove a point. He's just out here trying to harass me, telling me that he's gonna arrest me next time. He's gonna impound my car. We still had a lot of fun today. I had a lot of fun. I'm not gonna let this thing ruin my day, you know.
These corrupt cops are ridiculous with their power games. The YouTuber was absolutely right. The cop did all of this to protect his giant ego. Fortunately, the YouTuber captured and released his games for everyone to see. If you think this is just an isolated event and the cop probably hates loud cars, then watch this next case, where an officer arrested a man for no apparent reason.
You're under
arrest for obstruction.
Nope, get out of here, man. Don't fucking touch me. Get the fuck out of here. I didn't commit no crime.
In a shocking video released by the Alberta Rights Media YouTube channel, an officer can be seen harassing a man for sitting in a car peacefully. The interaction starts pretty smoothly, but then the officer decides to get aggressive and all hell breaks loose.
Hi there, how are you today?
We're gonna call about you.
Me? For
Yeah,
what?
because you're videotaping people leaving the parking lot, so they think it's suspicious.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
So do you have your license, registration, insurance for this vehicle, sir?
Sorry, have I committed a crime?
Yep.
I've committed a crime?
Yep.
And what crime would that be?
You're being suspicious, so we're
Is
investigating
that a felony or a misdemeanor?
It's neither of those two things,
What's
because
your
this
name and
isn't the
badge
US.
number?
62260, Constable Smith.
Okay, sweetheart. And what would you like today, cupcake?
Your license, registration, insurance for the vehicle.
No, not gonna happen.
It is gonna happen.
Okay. You
It
tell
is.
yourself that. You can leave me alone, man. I'm here absolutely doing nothing wrong.
You've been called in as a suspicious person, so
I
I'm
haven't.
going to...
Have I committed any crime?
I don't know.
The officer is acting weird and has no idea what he is talking about. The man being accused initially plays along and is surprisingly polite, but what happens next changes everything.
Okay, license, registration, insurance, please.
Absolutely not.
The problem is now you've been called in, so we have to do an investigation.
Yeah, you do your investigation, sir. I'm not stopping you from that. You can do that. What's your name and badge number?
Constable Neufeld, regimental number 609.
All right. So as your officer just explained, he said because I'm filming,
That's
which
what
is
people
my
call you.
constitutional Canadian Charter of Rights, constitutional. I'm engaged in a constitutional activity. He cannot deem this a crime. If he wants to take it there and escalate it, we absolutely can. But this little cupcake right here ain't gonna do shit.
No. See.
I rolled down my window to talk to you to let you know that I mean no ill will or no harm. That's it. But you know what? If he's gonna escalate it, then I'm not gonna be nice to you.
But he hasn't. Like
He has. He just told me that I've committed a crime.
No, I don't.
This little here just told me I committed a crime.
I didn't hear that one, but here, can I try to explain it to you?
You just touched my do it again. Do it again and see what happens. Get the hand out of my car. Get out of my car. Get out of my car. It's on video. It's on video. You put your hand in my car.
Step out of your vehicle.
I can't step out.
Okay, well, you're under arrest for obstruction.
Nope. Get out of here, man. Don't touch me. Get the out of here. I didn't commit no crime.
You're under arrest.
I don't give a You can't obstruct me. I didn't do nothing. Get the out of here. You got you put your hand in my car without a fucking warrant, you idiot.
What worse than a corrupt cop? A fake cop who's corrupt as well. And this is exactly what this next guy is famous for.
Quit! Don't reach for that phone! Walk away from your bike! Keep your hands up! Keep your hands up! Go down to your knees! Do not reach for that phone! Do not reach for that phone! Go down to your knees! Go down to your stomach! Do not reach for that phone! Go down to your stomach now! Do not reach for that phone! Do not reach for that phone! You hear me? I hear you. Go ahead and secure him. What? He got the arm on his side.
After following Jeremy, the deputy pulls him to the side and aiming his gun at him, tells him to get off of his bike.
Carrying a pepper ball, you already know that. I do not know that. That is a firearm. That is a firearm right now.
While the deputy aimed his gun at a rather adamant Jeremy, another officer didn't pay any attention to his cover-up and proceeded with the necessary actions. Here's where things get a lot more interesting.
Hang tight. I gotta. What is this? It is a fire. No, I do not. You know it's a pepper ball. Stop it, man. All right, I'm gonna take it up. Stop with that bull. All right, Jeremy, you're being arrested for carrying a concealed weapon. Concealed? It was in plain view. That's not plain view. That's concealed. That holster's concealed. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? It's in plain view. Florida shots in 9 seconds. What are you talking about? Give me a sergeant. Give me a lieutenant. Give me a lieutenant. It was in plain view. It's in plain view. How am I being arrested? Call for a cage car. Okay. Give me a lieutenant. Go ahead and stand up, Jeremy. Give me a lieutenant. Give me a lieutenant.
So somehow carrying a weapon inside a holster is not in plain view anymore. But let me remind you that Jeremy is a convicted felon and is not allowed to carry any kind of concealed weapon.
You can't. Come on, man. Got him. Jeremy, be quiet.
Give me a lieutenant. This is bullshit. It was in plain view.
Have him call for a record for the bike. Sit down, Jeremy.
He wasn't talking.
Sit down. No, I'm telling you to sit down. Go ahead and sit down. On the ground. On the ground until we get a cage car.
I don't want you falling back.
It's falling off over the side. Go ahead and sit on your butt. Take your legs out. I checked.
Jeremy's trying really hard to somehow escape this conversation and get on with his impersonation, but this deputy gets more irrational by the second. Things get a lot more intense and start going badly for Jeremy.
Sergeant.
Listen, you're free to go. I don't have anything on you. You're free to go. So you can do what you can do what you need.
I need you to call.
You do have a license, right?
Take my phone off my bike right there.
Okay, no, but you're free to go.
Take my phone.
No.
Joe, hey, that's my phone. I wasn't open carrying.
Sit down. Sit down and be quiet.
Where's your
Sit
lieutenant?
down.
Where's the lieutenant? Where's the lieutenant? Where is the lieutenant?
After letting Jeremy's companion go, the tension between the officer and Jeremy escalated. No strategy seemed to work with Jeremy, as he just wouldn't stop running his mouth. Jeremy was adamant about meeting the lieutenant. What happens next is even more intriguing.
Jeremy, I'm going to explain this to you right now, and I want you to listen up, and I want you to stop running your mouth.
Okay.
All right, you sound like a little child out here running your mouth.
It's
Okay,
not that
listen
you're
to me.
arresting me for
Jeremy, listen to me. I'm going to tell it to you.
Go ahead, Sergeant.
Okay? You're being arrested for carrying a concealed weapon. That's what you're being charged with. When we get off the roadside, I'm not going to argue with you here on the roadside. This isn't the place or time to argue with you. Listen to me. It's not the time or place to argue with you. When we're done here, I'm going to take you back to the station, and then we'll talk about it. But I'm not going to argue with you up here on I-4. It's not the place. It's not the time.
But Sergeant,
Okay?
I'm not
So listen to me.
carrying.
You are. It's a concealed weapon. I said when we get off this roadway, I will discuss it with you, but I'm not going to discuss it with you here. It's not. It's a bad place.
But it's in
So as
plain
soon as
view, and
as
you
soon
rode
as
up next
as
to
soon
me.
as the car gets here to put you in the car and the record gets here, we'll go talk.
Yeah,
Okay?
you
All right. That's it.
rode up-
Sorry. What's that? Yep.
Alright, what's the need?
What I'm going to do is I'm going to put him in your car, and then we're probably going to go to our office for an interview.
Okay.
Okay? The motor office.
Alright, I'll let my supervisor know.
Okay. Do you have anything of value in the bike that needs to be taken?
No, Sergeant.
Okay. I got the keys.
You want your wallet to go with you?
Yeah, bring the wallet.
What's your hat? Sergeant, why am I being arrested for open carry?
Check
Unless
No, it's locked.
Those unlocked.
Despite repeated explanations, Jeremy remained clueless about why he was being arrested. Eventually, the officers gave up trying to reason with him and decided to proceed with the arrest.
Sergeant, how is that?
Okay, Jeremy, we're going to go ahead and stand up and go back to the car. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
So, Sergeant, how is it concealed if I wasn't wearing a jacket and you rode up next to me and you clearly saw it? How is it concealed? Can you answer that? Sergeant, I'm asking you. How is it concealed? If it was in plain view, how is it concealed?
I'm gonna search for it. Okay. Right here. Put your legs out.
You're destroying my business by doing what you're doing, and I didn't do anything illegal today. I'm not wearing anything over my belt. I'm not hiding anything. You rode up next to me, and you clearly saw it on my hip. So how is that carrying a concealed weapon? It's not even a weapon. It's for less lethal purposes, self-defense purposes. How is that illegal? Sergeant, I'm asking you a question. You have enough cars here to protect us from the accident. So explain that to me. If it's in plain view, when exactly was it concealed? If it's on my belt, your weapon's on your belt, is that concealed? Sergeant, Officer Alexander, your weapon's on your belt, is it concealed? Can you clearly see that? Those are... I'm a little confused. Sergeant. There's nothing else.
You got no knives in your boots, right?
No, I can't.
You want to check the boots? Yeah. You want to take the gloves off, Jimmy?
Sergeant, can you answer that for me, please? If I'm wearing my weapon in plain view, how is it concealed?
Nothing in it.
Sergeant Middler.
Jimmy, I already explained it to you. I'm not going to discuss it here.
No, you didn't explain it to me. You're charging me for a concealed weapon.
Okay, but what did I tell you? We'll discuss this back at the station. I'm not going to discuss it out here with you. Just go ahead and get in there, Jeremy.
You're towing my
Check the pockets.
You're towing my bike and you're putting me into custody for a concealed weapon when it was in plain view. And it wasn't a weapon, it's a self-defense pepper ball. So how is that illegal? Sergeant, Stephen Casey Miller even emailed you saying that they weren't illegal. And your lawyers at your sheriff's office said it wasn't illegal. It's the Velcro.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got you.
Sergeant, even your own attorney, attorney at the sheriff's office sent you an email saying that it's not illegal for us to carry our pepper balls in plain view.
Nothing in this. Okay. All right, take it. Go ahead and get in. Jeremy, sit down. Sit down. Put your butt all the way to there. Put your back against that wall.
No, man, I gotta make sure.
Save that bullshit for somebody else. Listen.
I do it to everyone.
Yeah, okay. Fiddler, Sergeant, can you explain to me how I'm carrying a concealed weapon if it's in plain view on my duty belt?
Right.
I don't know if that's going to happen without me getting out.
That's fine.
Yeah, that's not going to happen at all.
Okay. All right, take a seat.
So, Sergeant, can you explain that to me?
Slide in.
Oh, okay.
Slide in. Watch your knee. There you go.
Oh, now you want to be nice?
When the cage car arrived, the officers meticulously checked Jeremy's bike for any valuables he could take with him. After that, Jeremy was taken to the police station where he had to endure a grueling 2-hour-long interview.
You want the sunglasses on? You want them off?
No, I'll keep them on.
Okay. You want your shoes on?
Yeah, the problem is you're going to have to help me a little bit. I can't do it by myself. So.
Okay. Just take a seat. I'll get them.
Deputy Alexander, let me ask you a question. Maybe you can help me. What's considered a concealed weapon? Isn't that a weapon you can't see at any time?
I have no idea. Unfortunately,
come on. You don't know the statute? How are you on the road if you don't know the statute in 970? Come on, man.
Put your foot in.
You gotta,
I'm just here to help. I'm just here to transport you.
Hold it back, White.
Can you unzip on time?
Listen, we're in a secure. I'm not going to run. Can you just pop in my right wrist?
No, not right now.
Come on, man.
I have to follow my policy. Do I need to untie him?
No, it has nothing to do with that.
We'll be relocated to the address of the
You can try. I don't think that's going to matter. I can't get my ankle past that point. Yeah. There we go. Sorry about that. Same scenario. Just pull it.
more. Is that good?
Not yet. I'm sorry.
Good? There you go. Alright, stop. Walk to that gate over there. Hey! Hey! Where you need him? No.
Go in like a right.
Jeremy's attitude had not changed one bit when face to face with a real cop. This just proves how crazy delusional he actually is. Nevertheless, he stood firm on the fact that he could not be arrested despite admitting to carrying a concealed weapon. Why? You'll see.
Alright, so the Constitution requires that I inform you that you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say will be used against you as evidence in the court of law. You are entitled to talk to an attorney now and have one present now or at any time during questioning. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you without cost. Do you desire to consult with an attorney first, or do you have one do you want one during the interview?
Well, if we can get him here during the interview, that'd be great. But I don't know how long that would take because you said it would only be about 5 minutes. So
Yeah, do you want to talk to me or?
Sure, let's talk.
All right. Do you understand these rights?
Yes.
Do you still wish to talk to me?
Sure.
Okay. All right. So, Sergeant Viller stopped you today. He told you it was for the wearing of.
It was concealed.
Okay. So he told you he was stopping you for having a concealed.
Well, he said I was carrying a concealed weapon. If you want to split hairs, that's correct.
Okay. So that's what it was. I just want to make sure you understand what you were stopped for. All right. Let me ask you. Looking at this, does that look like a real gun to you?
Corporal Ramsey, we can save the bullshit. You know as well as I do that you all know it's a pepper ball.
I don't. That's why I'm asking you.
You do. And in fact, we have the emails, and you are correct. You're not in those emails, and I appreciate that. But I will tell you that I do have the emails that were sent multiple times, not only to your main lawyer here at the sheriff's office, but also Vittler, saying that us carrying those pepper ball weapons is legal as long as they're in plain view. Okay. So I make sure that my guys, their jackets don't cover them, and I make sure that they're always in plain view like it was today. And we've never had this problem before. In fact, we've met before while I'm wearing it. Sergeant Dillon with Orlando Police has met with when I'm wearing it. Multiple agencies have met that and never had a problem with that because they know it's a
Let me ask you, the first thing they ask you though when they see you is, isn't that a firearm? And what do you tell them?
No.
Jeremy attempted to assure the officer that the object didn't resemble a real gun. However, it certainly looked like one to the officer.
Only one time has that ever happened.
Who was that with?
I honestly can't remember. I'm sorry.
You want me to help you?
Sure.
Well, it's been more than one time, but the one time you're probably talking about is with Dylan on OBT. You were coming by, you stopped at traffic section. He was
correct.
He was on the electric motorcycle.
Yes. Yes.
And he rolled up to you, and his whole thing was he thought I was a real firearm, right? So the last time we spoke, looking at this from a distance, it looks like a real firearm. But then when you got up a little bit closer, you had a knob on the back that somebody who's familiar with firearms and/or like pellet guns or CO2 type guns know that the end piece is for that purpose, right? But I also noticed now you're not wearing that either. You have a whole different gun.
No, it's the same one, just different magazine because they keep leaking.
Okay, so you changed the magazine?
Well, the magazine has something to do with the leaking or something. I don't really know.
So if I look up this weapon right now, it's going to show me that it comes with a magazine with the knob on the back?
Yeah.
Okay.
Dylan on OBT mistook the pepper gun for real until he saw the telltale knob. What happens next is quite interesting.
Why don't you have yellow on it?
I'm sorry?
Why don't you have a yellow or orange markings or anything to identify it as a less lethal weapon?
It's always been less lethal. You know it is.
No. Why don't you have markings on it so that the average person would be able to tell that it's less lethal?
Corporal, are we saying that I was carrying a concealed weapon or was it in plain view?
That's not in plain view because you
It
can't
is in
tell.
plain
You can tell that. Okay, the average person, including law enforcement, cannot
You're
tell that
splitting
that's
hairs
not.
right now.
It's not splitting
It's
hairs.
not concealed. It was never
Okay.
concealed. It was in plain view. In fact, he drove up next to me and looked right at it and
Right.
then made the traffic stop. So we already know that that's clearly him looking at it, knowing that that's the less lethal that we carry.
Okay, and you're saying that that's
It was in
and
plain
that's
view.
and that's in plain view.
It is in plain view.
Okay.
And you guys
And
have
you know
emails
online-
from your own attorney, from the upstairs, your head attorney at the sheriff's office. Your own attorney from the sheriff's office emailed you, not you, but Sergeant Fiddler, saying that those are okay. Our badges are okay. Those are okay. In plain view are okay. It's exactly what the email says.
Okay. So online, when you look it up for this particular weapon, how much? How much did you pay for that?
I honestly can't remember. I'm not gonna lie to you.
How long ago did you buy it?
I honestly can't. I bought multiple for the company, so.
So you've bought some that are this. You bought some with the yellow on it, right? It's a mixture.
Well, once the yellow started coming out, then we've got ones that had yellow.
So why don't you wear that one?
Because that one's mine. Kind of like what's issued to you is what you use, and what's issued to me is what I use. So I just never changed it.
Corporal Remzi was immediately silenced when Jeremy insisted his pepper gun was non-lethal. It seemed Jeremy was almost waiting for the cops to wrongfully arrest him so he could reveal he had a written letter from the sergeant confirming his right to wear a badge and carry his weapon openly.
No, it's actually advertised for like paintball, the airsoft paintball for training for military and law enforcement, and they have the blue.
That doesn't.
They have the yellow.
Listen, I know
So-
what you're doing with your camera on and everything. You're trying to make it sound like that I know it looks like a weapon and stuff. We
No,
got
no,
our
I
less
already know-
lethal-
I already know you're gonna say it's
We got
less
our less lethal weapons. That's what we carry.
Okay.
The statute clearly states as long as it is in clear, plain view.
What? Show me. Just tell me on here first, just so everybody knows.
Yeah.
There's nothing in it, right?
Right.
Okay. So, but you're not carrying anything in it, right?
Not
It's
right
empty,
now,
right?
right.
Okay. So it's empty. You verified it's empty, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. From your point of view down there, what does that look like to you? Okay.
Jeremy is shocked when the corporal reveals that the weapon he's carrying, which he thought was harmless, is actually considered a replica Glock used for police training. It's a moment of realization for Jeremy that a gun is a gun, regardless of its intended use. As the corporal pulls out the pepper gun, it becomes clear that Jeremy's attempt at intimidation as a fake cop has backfired spectacularly.
8 years that we wear them.
Okay,
For 8 years.
Okay, Jeremy. So, right now you're saying that the
Corporal,
backstrap.
listen, do me a favor.
The backstrap.
Where's the lieutenant or captain? Because I'm going to say we have the emails that your attorney sent to Vittler saying that we can
I
legally
haven't
carry
seen
it
that,
like
so I'm just asking.
Okay.
This is the hand grip
again,
and the
Can I get
backstrap.
the lieutenant or the captain? I've asked multiple times, and
That's-
I know the Sector 4 captain's here. So can she
Okay.
come in or he come in, please? So and then
I
if they
think
can
it's a
explain
he.
it's a he. Okay,
I think
his
so.
his red Ford Explorer's out there. So can
There's
he
multiple
come?
of those, but
right, sure.
Vittler's getting whoever you're asking for, I
Right,
guess.
it's in the parking spot. So,
Okay.
So please, I'm not trying to be disrespectful. You've known for 8 years that we carry those.
Okay.
So does
I
everybody
haven't.
else.
I've never seen you carry anything that looks so much like. I mean, all your other ones look like a firearm, but there's always, when you get close enough, something that gives it away, like the little bolt on the back. In this case, I mean, no. So you're telling me that this is openly carried, that this is not concealed,
Open
because the back strap and the handle is
As
exposed.
long as it's on our belt and in clear view, it's an open carry.
You were on the Dr. Phil show, and Dr. Phil asked you
Okay.
about why don't you carry the yellow ones, and you told them the same thing, that you have some in your stock that are yellow and some that aren't.
Because
and,
those are all
and-
issued out now.
Right.
That's not
and,
really fair for me to go and take it from somebody else.
Right, and so he said to you, because why would you wear a total black one that looks like a real firearm instead of with the yellow on there? And your response to him was, well, it doesn't matter because it's concealed anyway. You can't see it when it's in the holster. Those were your words.
No, I didn't say it was concealed.
No?
That's a nice try. What I said was you can't see if it has the orange or yellow at all. I never said concealed. Although I love how you guys tried to make it sound like I pulled it on your off-duty deputy that hit me with his truck. Even though the 911 call clearly states that he doesn't even believe I have it.
I'm not sure what you're talking about there.
I know you are. I know that's good.
The Real Action Maker T4E TPM1, which is this model.
Right.
Training paintball pistol is a .43 caliber, so it's
Right,
almost
43.
45.
Yeah, well, it's a .43 paintball.
It is the latest generation of high-end training and marking system used by law enforcement as well as the military for training purposes.
Right. Clearly states that I say it's pepper ball. So when you find somebody that says that we're not using them for self-defense, you can go ahead and try to flip them like you did photo and recycle, and then try to see if they can testify against me. It's okay, because the people that you have that are trying to testify against me, I have videos of them actually doing things, and I can promise you those will come out. So, anyways, I know for a fact that none of my people have ever said these are illegal. And I know for a fact these are pepper balls all day. And I know for a fact that the statute, when your attorney says I can openly carry it in plain view, which I've been doing for almost 8 years.
So let me get back to the point of that video.
And let me ask you another question. When you pulled me over and you kept me on a traffic stop for 3 hours and you wrote me 20 tickets for having white flashing lights, I had a pepper ball. How come we didn't arrest me for open carrying then?
Well, first of all, you did not have a gun on you that day.
I did.
No, you did not. Listen, stop.
Go ahead.
You did not have a gun on you that day. I'm going to tell you what you had on you that day.
Okay, go ahead.
Pepper spray and an asp that was empty. It was just the housing.
Yeah. That was,
so,
and that's when then Major Krantz said what we have is legal and we can actually carry the batons.
Actually, Major Krantz did not tell me any of that stuff, so let me finish.
Okay, sure, go ahead.
Jeremy kicked off by declaring his mission to enhance safety, brushing off any misinterpretations of his actions. He staunchly defended the legality of the pepper gun. However, when tensions peaked, Jeremy resorted to gaslighting the corporal with menacing insinuations.
If you remember correctly, since you've seen the video, when I ejected the magazine, the round fell under the table.
Well, I didn't see a round fall out, so can't help you there. But I did.
Okay.
I did see the video of you take it and you chucked it on the table, and that's when he told you it was over because you were getting really mouthy because you and your girlfriend at the time.
She wasn't my girlfriend.
Okay. She and you were talking outside about how she was going to make this lawsuit against the police department and all that stuff.
She shouldn't do that just because.
That's not what you said out on the video. You recorded the whole thing.
Right, I did. Yeah. But then later on, I explained to her that.
Well, that must have been off a video.
Probably.
Yeah.
Trying to jam up Sergeant Dillon for racism is a little bit too much.
Yeah.
And it makes my company look bad, especially since Sergeant Dillon at no time was ever in any way, shape, or form racist towards her.
Oh, he absolutely was not, because I've watched all the videos from the deputies who were there.
Right, and when she filed the complaint, I don't remember who took it, I told her she needed to stop pursuing.
So, the purpose of this was that they thought it was a real gun.
Okay.
So when you tell me that there's emails sent that you've seen, and I told you I haven't seen them, the last information I was given is, that's a real gun. If you see him wearing it, you need to deal with it. That was the last information that we were given.
When was that?
That's been a couple of years ago.
Oh, okay.
Since when we started all this. So
Sergeant Biddler sent to your new attorney, because it's not anymore
Steve Miller.
Steve Miller. You don't have to like me. I know you don't like me, and I know you think I'm a liar. Let me finish.
Go ahead. I don't think you lie, man. I think you twisted a little bit, but go ahead.
I can assure you that email is real. So I'm a little confused right now why this is happening. Because I'm clearly carrying this in very open.
Right.
It's clearly open. I'm carrying it in very clear, open. No jacket, nothing covering it.
Yeah, you're carrying a firearm.
It's not a firearm.
In the open.
As you know as well as I. Okay, so let's hypothetically.
But don't even know that.
Wait. Okay, if you want to use that terminology, so if I'm open carrying of a firearm, then it's a simple misdemeanor. What are you doing? You're trying to charge me with a felony concealed carry.
Are you a convicted felon?
But I'm not carrying.
That enhances it.
Concealed.
That is concealed.
That is not concealed. It's in plain view.
Okay. There's no way you could have identified me. I had a helmet on and sunglasses.
Right. Okay.
That's what you always say. And we can't identify you because of facial characteristics, right?
Well, I was wearing
this facial characteristic is straight up, it looks like a gun.
So then
hold on.
Make a traffic stop and verify that it's not real by saying it's less lethal. By saying, because what's funny is you say that, but then he got out of the vehicle and he said, Jeremy DeWitt,
So what you're saying is if he sees the gun in your pocket and he sees an outline of the gun in your pocket, is that concealed?
That's concealed.
How is it? You can see the outline of the gun.
You can't see anything of the weapon.
What do you mean? What do you have to see?
What do you mean?
If you see the outline of a gun, and you can clearly tell in that pocket that that's a gun, okay?
Jeremy and the corporal engaged in a heated debate over the legality of openly carrying a pepperball gun for 8 years. Not one to back down, the corporal squared off without hesitation.
What else?
Nothing.
What is this designed for?
Well, it's designed to hold whatever you want to put in it.
Handcuffs, maybe? Handcuff case. What is this?
Again, what are we talking about right now?
Because you're telling me about your pouches here.
Right.
This is your glove pouch. I don't see any gloves in here.
What I'm confused about is what are we talking about my duty belt for?
So you talk about you render aid, right? But you have no gloves. You have no CPR mask.
Well,
you have what looks like a firearm.
Which again, it's in my bag, and I was in a bit of a hurry today.
So okay, so you didn't load up any of your stuff that you should have, right? If one of your guys did that, would you fire him, suspend them,
I would definitely,
chastise them? Yeah. Okay.
Well,
So-
that's the great thing about being the owner, I guess.
So
I can fuck
another
off and not actually get in trouble.
Yeah. So another.
Until I get arrested for concealed carrying of a weapon in plain view.
Okay. Another
Self-defense
pouch.
weapon.
Another pouch right here.
Sure,
Handcuffs. Handcuffs, right?
No.
But I mean, that's what it's designed for.
If you say so.
I've never seen it used for anything else but handcuffs.
The corporal confronted Jeremy about rendering aid, noting he had no gloves and only CPR gloves, along with his firearm. It was at this moment that Jeremy began to feel fear creeping in.
Why? You let me last time. I've been answering your questions.
Because I don't have access to a phone like that, and you're not using my phone.
Oh.
So, yeah, last time I did.
He's got my phone, so let me use my phone real fast.
I gotta go find him. Let me ask you. So we were talking
Can
about.
I ask 2 seconds so I can get you some phone numbers? Can I write? Can I?
Do you want your lawyer's phone number? I'll give it to you.
Yeah, that, and then I
I'll look it up.
need
Okay.
my wife's phone number, and I need another phone number.
I might still have her number too.
Okay, that would be good.
We're talking about the badge because I lost my train of thought there, and you were talking
Well,
about
listen,
something.
we've
But let me
already talked
let me
about
ask
the
you.
weapon.
You said
Or
wait. You
I'm
said
done
that
talking
you
about
said
my
the state
uniform.
attorney. You said the state attorney
Yeah, sure.
said that the badge was okay.
Right, and that in itself, there's no charges.
Right. And on the Dr. Phil show, you said it has to have an eagle on top to represent.
Right, eagle or 5-point star.
Yeah.
Or a troop or FHP badge. That's what the Florida statute says. It has to have an eagle, a 5-point star, and you can't use the FHP shield.
Right.
With all due respect and going on and on and on, not that I'm trying to, blow smoke up your ass or anything, you've always been very good.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that. And I've always been respectful to you. Just like
And-
the time when we were on the side of the road and when I was acting like I was going to run for you, just playing around. And I respect that. And I respect what you're doing. And I understand. But at the same time, I'm not doing what you guys are trying to say. Are you wearing a concealed weapon right now?
No, it's a firearm.
So if it's
a firearm.
But the fact that you couldn't tell whether it's
Listen, you're wearing it on your hip, so it's not concealed. I'm wearing mine on my hip, so it's not concealed.
Jeremy, if this was a pepper ball gun right now, if this was a pepper gun and not a Glock, would you know that that's a pepper ball gun?
If I was looking at a pepper ball gun that's made by 814.
Okay, but no, just in the holster, because yours is in the police style holster.
I can't answer that question. I don't know.
You can answer that. That's a yes or no question.
I asked him the same thing earlier. He goes, "Well, I know you're a deputy, so you would
you're
be
wearing
carrying
your firearm,
right?"
So
So a normal person, a
but
reasonable
you know
person,
for 5 years that I've been wearing a pepper ball.
Like I said, I didn't even know that was you, and I thought that was a real Glock because of the back.
Okay, but
that back and my back is identical.
But then,
well, this is identified on the website as the Glock
Oh,
version.
as a Glock. I thought it was a Rambo type situation that was going on.
So then, Sergeant, let me ask you.
Yes.
Once you saw that it wasn't a real firearm, then I'm not openly carrying a firearm.
You're not openly carrying a firearm. That's
So
why
then
you're not
how
charged
become
with that.
a concealed weapon?
Because you're concealing the fact that it is a pepper ball gun. Nobody knows it's a pepper ball gun.
Nobody's concealing
You've already conceded that the only way he would know is to stop you and talk to you and have you remove it.
No, that's not the only way.
How else did he do it?
Way.
Because you fucking know.
No. Remember I told you that. Remember I told you.
I knew once you were on the ground and you kept saying it was a pepper ball gun, then I realized it was you.
Sergeant! Come on, man.
Hey,
you know.
Put your mask back on.
But anyway, Jeremy, I just wanted to clear up a couple rumors out there for you, so you can straighten them out.
Put the mask back on.
Oh, wait, you want me to take this off?
No,
put it back on.
Take it off at the jail. Yep, there you go. All right, turn around.
Cops usually don't pay for their mistakes, but this next one got humiliated at an award ceremony. He got the Douchebag of the Month award.
Why?
Because it's a violation of HIPAA law. He's actually in.
Pardon me?
You see anything around here right now? Did you see anything? Then please leave.
Why?
It's a violation. Because right now we're working on this. Can you favor please leave the area? Because he's a victim.
You're gonna do me a favor. He's a victim right now. You want to leave?
I'm watching.
You want to leave the area?
I want to make sure he's being
Then please
taken
back
care
away
of.
to the sidewalk.
What's the rule? Is there a rule about that?
We don't want you right here if I'm attending him.
Okay, but you're not doing anything.
I want you on the other side of that hedge.
What are you doing?
Right now, I want you on the other
You're
side.
not attending him. What are you doing?
Sir, right now, I'm going to ask you again on the other side of that hedge.
Why do I have to go to the other side?
You're going to get arrested for obstruction.
How am I obstruction?
Because I'm asking you to go to the other side and I don't want you approaching me.
I'm not approaching you. You approach me.
Other side of the hedge.
Somehow, Gallardo figured that this innocent black man, simply recording in public and practicing his First Amendment protected activity, is somehow obstructing justice. I still don't see by which angle he judges that Galen was being a nuisance or an issue to police at that time.
What about everybody else?
Other side of the hedge.
Shortly after this, the video unfortunately cuts out and Galen is promptly put in handcuffs. In the report filed on his arrest, Gallardo claims that if only he had moved back to the bushes, but the video clearly shows Gallardo's aggressive and demanding stance from the get-go. This was an event that Mike Galen would not be able to easily forget and forgive. That is why many years later he was able to take his revenge. In September 2019, Officer Gallardo was being given a Deputy of the Month award, and Galen took his best opportunity and said,
Joshua Gallardo.
It's my line.
Can you come down for a second? It's good to see you again. You probably don't remember me, but you're the police officer who falsely arrested me 4 years ago. You lied on the police report. I believe you're a rogue police officer, you're a bad police officer, and you don't deserve to be here.
Keep in mind, folks, this was a meeting honoring Officer Gallardo. Instead, Commissioner Galen made the rather unexpected and bold comments. Even the mayor had to chime in and take over.
We appreciate, as a whole, BSO and everything that you do for us.
But her attempts were of no use, as painting Gallardo as a good officer wasn't something that everyone was feeling at that moment in time. While this should have been the end of this matter for Galen, instead he caught some backlash and had to take some heat for speaking his truth. Apparently, the commission was considering whether Galen broke the city's civility code with his harsh words. Galen took all of this negativity towards him and channeled it back onto the public when he made his first comments in public after this event.
I received messages of hate, threats. My family's safety has been compromised. I have to explain a mugshot for the rest of my life, as if I am a criminal, and I'm not a criminal.
What the naysayers of Galen don't understand is how the actions and corruptness of some police officers leave a stain on people's records that no matter how hard they try, cannot be removed. After all, we live in a world of labels that define us.
There is a difference between legitimate criticism of a deputy and using a platform of the city commission to embarrass, humiliate, and berate that deputy.
You chose to act in a manner that brought shame, shock, and disbelief to all who saw it.
When it comes to our police and how they treat residents and visitors of our city, I'd like to see some changes because every resident in Tamarack should feel safe and protected.
Despite the many different members who thought that Galen used the opportunity to embarrass Officer Gallardo as wrong, but despite their opinions, Commissioner Mike Galen was not reprimanded nor faced any consequences. The last case showed us just how well good people that are part of the law enforcement agencies can use their power to set bad cops straight. But what happens when bad cops are handed the reins of power?
Right, but they have 3 days.
On September 11th, 2012, in Denver, Colorado, a judge had the most full and clear view of an officer abusing his powers, using excessive force and violence against a criminal during an actual case.
The investigation for false imprisonment, assault in the 3rd degree, assault as a Class 2 felony, and a misdemeanor charge as well in possession of paraphernalia. Thank you, sir.
Yes, ma'am. I'd like to object first.
As we can observe, the defendant Anthony Waller in Judge Doris Bird's courtroom. There were no raised voices in the nearly empty courtroom. The 4 deputies in the room seemed relaxed as Waller stood listening to the judge. One even checked his cell phone.
If I'm under investigation, I thought the investigation came first, then the arrest came.
Right, but they have 3 days.
Just as the judge started answering Waller's objection, explaining that the city had the authority to hold Waller for 3 days before arresting him, Deputy Brady Lovinger suddenly took hold of Waller from behind and spun him around and slammed him into a large glass window. Waller resorted to the ground in pain. Later, even the judge had to file a grievance against Lovinger. Bird used the term heavy duty when later asked by internal affairs investigators to describe the attack. Her clerk described it as a bit excessive. Despite all these blaring details, it took over a year to reprimand Lovinger for his actions. Why is that? It probably has something to do with the fact that Brady Lovinger is the son of Bill Lovinger, who headed the sheriff's department from 2006 to 2010. So it's no surprise that Brady's daddy has got his back covered no matter what he seems to do. This is how some of America's finest also end up being the most corrupt, but wait till you see this next cop who thought he was all fine but not at all corrupt.
Okay. I've had enough. I've lost my patience.
On January 2nd, 2018, Officer Cheryl Dickerson of the Roswell Police Department down in Georgia noticed how unusually a golf cart was driving down the highway. Naturally, she has to call out a traffic stop, only to discover it's a 13-year-old child driving the cart.
You're driving around in your mom's vehicle?
Yeah, I asked her to borrow it. She works at the Roswell.
At the Roswell what?
Up there. So yeah, I asked her to borrow it for a few minutes. And she said, yeah, just be safe. And
Okay, you understand that you cannot drive a golf cart down the road, roadway.
I really didn't understand that. So
How old are you?
I'm 13.
You're 13?
Is that wrong?
Yeah, it's pretty bad. Like a car could slam into the back of you, not realizing you're.
Do you want me like to drive?
Well, hold on. What? Do you have ID on you or anything like that? What are you doing out here at 13 years old?
I'm going to Starbucks.
You're going to Starbucks? Where does your mom work? So you got this golf cart from what apartment complex?
Roswell, down there.
You have no idea what the name of the apartment complex is.
It's called Roswell.
It's called Roswell. Yeah. What's the road it's on?
Roswell Road.
All right, go ahead, step out for me.
At this point, even Cheryl realizes how ridiculous and unlikely that story sounds, so she decides she has to make sure just in case. Firstly, she secures the boy.
Oh, don't turn around on me. All right, give me your arms. You're just being detained right now, okay? What is this in your...
my finger hurts so much.
I'm sorry?
That's what my fingers were frozen.
Pull your hand out of your sleeve. All right. You don't have anything illegal on you?
No.
Again, you're not under arrest. I'm just detaining you, okay? Separate your feet.
Yeah, at least that way it'll be, I can watch it until 5. I mean, I can't leave it there after that.
I'm not totally convinced that Mom let him take this and Mom owns this thing.
I think he totally stole it. Yeah, I think he did too. Partially, but I don't know.
All right, so now what? We take him up to see if he's telling the truth at Mom? I'm trying not to take you to jail, but I can't just let you go turn around and go home in the golf cart either, okay? So I need you to be honest with me and let me know. Help me find your mother for you, okay? And then we'll release you to your mother if everything checks out.
Since the kid wasn't exactly complying and telling the whole truth, the cops had to threaten that they'd have to go locate his mom at the apartments. That's when the kid panics and spills some truth.
She's on a date.
She's on a date? So you took the golf cart without her permission?
Yes.
Huh?
Yes.
Yes? Is it really her golf cart?
This is the company's golf cart. But she will let me use it sometimes.
Okay. So where were you really going?
I was driving around.
You were just going to drive around? Can you give me your mom's number so I can call her?
She really doesn't have a number.
Okay.
Even now, the kid isn't willing to let the cops directly contact his mother, possibly because he thinks that would get him in more trouble, which is natural for a teenager who's being a little rebellious.
Okay, now he's saying he's found the golf cart at the back of a school.
No, it wasn't back of the school.
It was where?
Next to
Next to a school. Should I read him Miranda? I mean, I haven't told him he's in custody.
That wasn't where he came from.
Where did he come from?
I don't know. I'm saying
Oh yeah, he was coming straight down 9. Alright, where's your mom really? On her date?
What's her phone number?
What's her phone number? Okay, what's her phone number? Alright, just understand this, that I can't just take you to your apartment and drop you off. That's not how this works. I have to release you to a legal guardian. So you're with me until we figure this out. So what time is your mom supposed to be home from a date?
Although he may have given up some sort of number, he had changed his story a couple of times leading up to this, leading the cops to believe he's actually trying to hide something else, and cannot be trusted to be just left to anyone. So at this point, Officer Cheryl decides to call the Rosemont Apartments directly, since the mom's number provided wasn't answering.
Hey, I'm sorry to bother you, it's Dickerson. You're the courtesy officer for Rosemont, correct? Alright. So, we have what we believe to be a 13-year-old male driving down Alpharetta 9 in a golf cart just now. He's saying his mother is the manager at Rosemont and that she's on a date and we can't get a hold of her. Okay, so her name is Christy. Well, initially he said he took it from the Rosemont complex because his mom let him borrow it, and now he's saying that he found it at the school, Elkin Middle. So you are missing a golf cart? Oh. He said to check the shed by the 1300 building, and if there's no golf cart in there, that's where the golf cart came from. Also, he's never heard of mom's name. So, now what?
So this only leads to more questions than answers for Cheryl, as this proves two things: that the golf cart is in fact not from the Rosemont complex, and the kid's mother doesn't work there, considering the manager didn't recognize the name at all. At this point, Officer Cheryl calls for backup, and Sergeant Daniel Elzy arrives on the scene to try and make sense of the mess.
The address where you live, you understand that? Think on it.
Sorry. Yeah.
Facilitate a little. You think for a few minutes about where you live, and I'll be back with you in a minute. Officer Dixon, you can cop in my passenger seat for a few minutes.
Okay.
Yeah, he ain't gonna say anything if it's warm.
If what?
He said he ain't gonna say anything if he's up there in the back seat and it's warm.
Oh.
So he can sit over there and be cold.
Well, okay.
The first thing Elzy does when he arrives on scene is turn off the heater and roll down the windows in the cop car. He insists that the kid won't tell the truth because he's too comfortable. But what Elzy doesn't realize is he's breaking the 8th Amendment of the US Constitution, which prohibits cruel and unusual punishments. Tactics like this and hotboxing are some methods officers are all too fond of using to try and help them in their interrogation. But to do it to some innocent rebellious minor is just heartless.
Alright, partner, what's your name? I'm sorry? Getting cold yet, Anthony? You can take it. Cool. So can I. Because I've got heat in this car. So here's where we're at. Elzy with the Roswell Police Department. Look at me when I'm speaking to you. My name is Sergeant Elzy with the Roswell Police Department. Okay? You can't be driving a golf cart in the streets. You understand that, right? Yeah, I can see your breath. It's pretty cold back there. Keep telling me. Speaking of, what's Mom's name? You don't know Mom's phone number. All right, well, I'll tell you what. I'm gonna drive to this address you gave me. You live in Alpha. To this address, you gotta hang tight right here, since you can't remember Mom's phone number. And if I can make contact with Mom, then we'll get some heat going. All right? You hang tight.
Most cops don't want to openly admit to such cruel acts, but Officer Elzy here in the true tyrant fashion addresses it numerous times to the kid, rather shamelessly too. Not to mention him dangling the prospect of getting heating in front of him only if they can find his mom is straight up torture tactics, something that Officer Cheryl could not bear for too long.
He's freezing him out. He's about to drive to the address that he gave, and Mom will turn the heat on in the car. Chilly,
Bravo
chilly.
3 signal 18 for wrong way driver.
Aw, man. Is it cold in the car, you're asking? Yeah, it's freezing in there. Well, he's got all the windows rolled down and the heat off. Yeah. It's like on the border.
What isn't exactly heard in the video since Cheryl mutes her mic, but essentially, she talks to her supervisor and informs him of Officer Elzey's actions. This prompts him to take Elzey aside and tell him how and where he's going wrong. This prompts him to roll the windows back up and turn the heating back on. Keep in mind that it was 13 to 14 degrees Fahrenheit, minus 10 degrees Celsius, on this night in question, so Elzey's actions were still inhumane and brutal. The boy finally gave police information about where he lived, and about half an hour later, officers released him into his mother's custody. Meanwhile, an investigation was taken into this case 6 months after this event, its outcome being that Officer Daniel Elzey was suspended for 30 days without pay and was demoted as well. While Elzey was pretty petty, trying to one-up a 13-year-old, our next cop landed himself in a cat and mouse chase for the corrupt.
All right.
In July 2016, a couple of protesters were participating in a protest against tyrannical and corrupt cops who don't respect citizens' rights. Officer Chris Dickey of the Commerce City intercepted these gentlemen.
I didn't get the memo on it. No. I thought I would have gotten like a calendar invite or something.
Well, it's every day.
Would you mind just lowering that for me?
No.
Would you mind lowering it for me? I don't want it used as a weapon against me, okay?
I'm not going to use it as a weapon.
Would you please lower it down for me?
You would do well to stay clear of me.
Okay. Gentlemen, we need to talk for a minute, okay?
Am I a suspect
Here's the
in
thing.
crime?
Yes, you are.
Which crime specifically am I a suspect?
Trespassing.
Trespassing.
You have been asked to leave the property, okay? Right
So
now
I'm
you are
shutting this down
trespassing.
so it's
Perfectly.
not a weapon.
Awesome.
At first, Officer Dickey clearly thinks he has control over the situation and has some sort of understanding with these protesters as he got them to lower their flag, but boy is he mistaken.
I totally
Let me
appreciate
advise you
that.
this is public property.
Actually, this is private property that you're on
Oh,
right
it
now.
is?
It is.
Who owns it?
The Adams County government.
The Adams County government. Oh, I forgot about his name. Didn't he run for president? No, he's not a person. It's the public. What the f is wrong with you people?
Sir?
No justice, no peace. The police.
Keep an eye out all the way around, please. You've been asked to leave the property.
Yeah.
You are now committing trespassing, okay? That's all we're asking you to do, is to leave the property.
I need your card.
I will give you my information when we're done.
No, you're
okay.
good now.
No.
It obviously seems that either one of these people are not aware of the laws of the land, as the officer does claim it's private property, while the protesters definitely know it isn't.
Well, actually,
It's Officer Dickey, right here.
That's what your thing
Badge
says.
number 2905. Okay.
So, Mr. Dickey, why are you removing
It's Officer
me from
Dickey.
public prop? No, it's Mr. Dickey.
I'm removing you from private property because you were asked to
not
leave
private
this property. Yes.
Do you see any posted signs? No, this is a building open to the public.
Did you,
It is
sir?
open to the public right now.
Consent to this unlawful seizure! No justice! No peace!
Gentlemen, I need your ID, please, so I can write you a summons.
You will be willing to write me a summons?
Yes.
Outstanding.
I need your ID also, please, sir. Okay, I'm gonna place you under arrest then.
You are not placing me under arrest.
Come
You
here.
have no right to ask for any.
Come here.
Annoyingly to the cop, as he tries to go about his easy way out of just cuffing anyone who doesn't comply, he trips, only benefiting the protesters more.
All right, taser. Got it. Go. He is under arrest. He's under arrest.
For what?
For trespassing and for disorderly conduct.
On public property, dipshit. Not disorderly. What is wrong with you?
When he's in front of the business.
Not only does he trip and can't run fast enough to catch up, but furthermore, he dramatically pulls out his taser as if that was meant to make an impact, only to have it miss and still run around like a headless chicken.
Yelling fuck everybody.
That's not public property. It says speech.
You want to know why? Because cops like you.
Relax.
And he refused to give me his ID, which he's required to do.
For what?
So I could issue him a citation for trespassing.
It's not trespassing.
They kicked him out of the property.
And there you have it, dumb cops making even stupider mistakes. Let's hope that these instances serve as lessons learned, and that we see fewer of these stupid mistakes in the future. If you like this video, subscribe so you don't miss out on our next upload. Thanks for watching. This is Detective Mystery signing off.